This is my chess poker game. This is going to be a brief overview. Please read the rules for the full details. The main mechanic of this game is that each square on the chessboard has a corresponding poker card. So the columns have ranks, some of them 2, and the rows correspond to suits. The game's played in 2 phases. The first phase, the board seeding phase, and the play phase. During the board seeding phase, you and your opponent each have your own deck of cards, are going to select 2 cards from your hand for a hold'em hand and play against each other. So just choosing at random the King 7 and the 7-6. So the King 7 wins, and they can place a piece on either square for the corresponding King of Spades or 7 of Diamonds. So in this case, the King of Spades is already taken, and the 7 of Diamonds. So they can place a piece at the 7 of Diamonds. When placing pieces, players must first place a pawn, and then they can place a power piece, a knight, bishop, or rook. This goes back and forth until one player has placed all their pieces, and then the remaining player turns up the top card of their deck at random and places pieces there. Once the board has been completely seeded with pieces, we go on to the play phase. During the play phase, the piece you wish to move is selected by the column only, and you will always get to move the piece. What we're playing for is to decide who goes first. So during this phase, you select your 2-card hold'em hand, and so there's your opponent, and then you also will select 5 cards for a flop, and your opponent will do the same. For this flop, of the 5 cards, you are only going to get to see 3 of them. You'll shuffle, so it's random, and then turn up the 3 cards for your board and the 3 cards for your opponent's board. 3 cards. And then you also reveal your hold'em hand. From this, you make your best 5-card poker hand using your hold'em hand and the combined 6 cards of the board. The player who has the higher hold'em hand gets to go first, and whoever loses gets to go second. But they still get to move the piece that they have selected based on the column of their card rank. You play back and forth like this until one player resigns or they get put into checkmate. Like I said, this is a brief overview. Please read the rules for all of the details. Thank you. Hope you enjoy.